Alright guys, so the supplies you're going to need for your homemade sketchbook are about 5 or 6 pieces of paper, scissors, ruler, marker or sharp pencil, cardboard, just scraps of cardboard, some clips, paper clips or binder clips, dental floss or thread, a sewing needle, preferably a thicker one, a heavy duty one, a push pin, things to color with, and your imagination. Alright guys, the first step to creating your sketchbook is folding all of your paper in half. Now if you chose 5 sheets of paper, you're going to end up with 10 sheets in your sketchbook. If you chose 6, you'll end up with 12, so on and so forth. So depending on however many you want, grab that amount. Keep them all folded nice. Crease them well, pile them up, and get ready for the next step. Now take one of your sheets of paper and measure about a ½ inch from the folded side of one paper. ½ inch from the folded side of one paper. Draw a line straight across. There you go. Now you're going to fold this paper 3 times. Fold it in half to make a smaller one. Fold that in half. Crease it and then fold one more time. There you go. Unfold. You're going to put a mark on every other fold. First mark, skip the second. Third mark, skip the fourth. 5th mark, skip the 6th, 7th mark. There you go. You should have 4 X's or marks. Take your push pin and poke a hole through each mark. So you should have 4 holes. Great. Use your pencil to make those holes a little bit bigger. Gently just poke your pencil through, twist it a little, and you have a bigger hole. Perfect. Now take your sheets of paper, about 3 at a time if you are working with more than 5. If you think you can poke through 5 at a time, great, do it. I recommend sticking to 3. Clip your pieces of paper together, that way your holes stay lined up. Great. You can use your pencil to poke through, just to put a mark first and then poke with your push pin, or just poke with your push pin. It makes way more sense to do it that way. Just be really careful when you're poking through. It is a lot thicker than one sheet, so it is going to be a little tough. Sometimes it's easier to go to the carpet or a soft surface and poke it through there. Cool, so you should have identical holes on each sheet. Do that until all of your sheets have the same hole. Make sure your needle can fit through all the holes by pushing it through and pulling it out through the other side. Once your holes are big enough for the needle, then you're going to start deciding which cardboard you're going to use. You might need to measure the size of your paper on the cardboard and cut it to size, or you might have the perfect size. So get your cardboard ready, and you're going to need to poke the holes on the cardboard as well. So you might want to use one of your templates or your first sheet of paper to mark the holes on your cardboard, or just draw them or trace them from your sheets of paper. Just make sure your cardboard has the same 4 holes on the front cover and the back cover. So you're going to want to trace it like this, or just poke it straight through with your push pin, needle, whatever you are comfortable using. Make sure your front cover and your back cover holes all line up with your sheets of paper. Very important, or otherwise you might have to poke new holes. Make sure everything is clipped together and get ready to thread your needle. This can be tricky. I have a needle here with a large eye, so I'm able to do it with ease, but you might need help with this part. So I'm threading my dental floss through the needle, pulling out quite a bit. I would say 3 nice long pulls. Now if it ends up being too long, it gets tangled and messy and hard to work with, so you can always go back and add more. The first thing you need to do is, on the side where the holes are, split open the notebook or your sketchbook. Spread the papers apart. You should have half on top, half on bottom, and go to the second hole. That's where you're going to thread through your first hole. Stick your needle through, gently pull, don't poke yourself. Pull your floss through, leave some on the other end. Then you're going to loop around the spine of your book, poke it through the back. See what I mean? You gotta really make sure it's lined up. There we go. So you've created a loop around the spine. Do that one more time. Try to hold your long tails out of your way, otherwise it will get tangled. Once you've done that twice, go to the third hole, stick it through the top, go around the back, and loop it around. Pull it through. Essentially, you're creating loops just to bind the book together. Do that a second time. There you go. That should be good. Now you'll have to go to the back of your sketchbook and put it through your 4th hole. If you can. This is tricky. All right, there we go. Pull it through. Loop it around, push it through, loop it around. Now you got to take your big clip off. That's in the way because we're going to do the side, same kind of loop. Push it through. Don't poke yourself. There you go. So I've binded the side. I'm going to do it one more time. Slide it over. There we go. Now I'm going to kind of tie off the end by slipping it under the floss and going back through my loop. Now my floss is pretty short. I don't have much room to tie a knot, so I'm just going to cut this off and tape it down to keep it secure. Now you're going to repeat the process for the next 2 holes. So thread your needle and fish it through the second hole, right about here, and create that loop. Now you don't want to cut off any tails just yet, so if anything is in your way, you could possibly tuck it under the side or tape it back like this. It's up to you, but don't cut it just yet. Perfect. Now you're going to continue to loop around the spine. Pull your needle through. Pull it kind of tight so it stays secure. Pull it through again. Now you're going to go through to your first hole from the bottom. There you go. So loop around the spine. There we go. Do it a couple of times. Move your clip and then do the side. Make sure you secure the side tight. There we go. Line it up. And then you will eventually tie it off and be ready for the next step. After you've tied and trimmed your loose ends, now you're going to use some tape to cover all of that stitching that you just did. This is the only tape I had as far as fancy tape that wasn't clear, so if you have printed tape, it'll look a lot better than black electrical tape, unless you like that look. It's up to you. Just secure that side, tuck it over the top, and then do the back. Press it down really firmly so it doesn't peel off. And the final step is adding your decorations, your cover. You can personalize it, write your name, draw some pictures. I decorated mine simple as calling it my sketchbook, my ideas, my designs, and just drew a few things that I would use in my sketchbook. It's up to you. Be on the lookout for ideas to draw around the house or maybe outside on a walk. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a lot of fun making this. Can't wait to see how yours turns out.